thank you was a quick message that you could send during a match. The word was very infamous for its toxic usage by players before it was removed in 2021 and was replaced by the new auto message system. Limited skins are skins that are only available for a temporary time and will never be obtainable in the future. Most limited skins are from crossovers, Logic Pass skins, or event-exclusive costumes. Survivor Diaries are the short backstory gameplay you can witness when you get the dark side or worn clothes for survivors. The survivors who have those diaries are gardener, doctor, thief, lawyer, forward, and magician. The unknown survivor, also known as 𝚬𝗓𝗏, was a character that briefly appeared during the tutorial of the game. He was planned to be a playable character, but it was scrapped for unknown reasons. Other than that, not much is known about 𝚬𝗓𝗏, and since he only appeared in the tutorial, his existence is slowly being forgotten. I will find you is written on the corner of the arms factory. The arms factory was Hellenberg's former factory before being burned down. Arm Factory is also notorious for being the location where the first Manor games took place. Despite that, not much is known about that message, and I only saw it being mentioned once in Gardner's backstory. Since there are little to no connections to that graffiti, it is safe to assume that that is still a mystery. Emma Woods was born in 𝚬𝚉𝗏𝗃 in 1877. She was a happy child who loved her father very dearly. Her father made her small toys and Emma used to give him mini bouquets. Unfortunately, her father, Leo Beck, has been in debt to the point where he was unable to support him or his daughter. Leo Beck sent his daughter to an orphanage, then proceeded to burn down his factory, causing his self-intended death. Miss Nightingale is one of the very few characters that has no story or information whatsoever. She was never mentioned by any characters in the game, has never appeared in any lore-related events, and her identity has never been explained. There have been some rumors about her being Orpheus' mom, however, due to her having the least lore out of any character in the game, the rumor hasn't come far. The logic path is a function in the game that gives you clues in exchange for playing the game, giving you an exclusive 𝚑𝚘 costume in the 1528th step. Many players mistake the logic path to be infinite, but it ends at the 4974th step. Postwoman was the entry of a Chinese artist during the OC contest in 2018. The reason this was so controversial is because after the Postman leak, many players complained about NetEase changing the gender without asking for the artist's permission. However, this is just a rumor, and the developers have neither confirmed or denied any to this day. Galatea Claude was a child prodigy with a bright future ahead of her. Her father noticed her talent in sculpting since she was little and he promised herself to support her in her journey. One night, her father heard Galatea talking to her statues. Full of rage, he threw the sculptures off the balcony, oblivious that Galatea would jump after the sculpture, breaking both of her legs on the impact. A few years ago, an image of all the survivors but with real eyes went viral. Most people still think that is surreal, however, it is fan-made. The only survivors we can actually see their eyes are Lucky Guy and Thief. On the internet, a real map of the city exists. You can see the church, Lakeside Village, the Holy Heart Hospital, and of course, Letters Manor. There are also some other labels, but I was not able to decipher them. In the waiting room, in the background, there is a creature similar to Soul Weaver, having multiple arms. That creature has even less information than Miss Nightingale, having no official gender, name, role, identity, or lore. A very popular theory is that the creature is the thing that keeps everyone safe in the Manor, keeping an eye over them. When the game wasn't even half a year old, a leak came out that hinted a new trait for the hunter. It was called Hide, and when activated, it would hide the survivor's heartbeat and the terror radius completely. Obviously, this would be way too game-breaking, which is highly the reason it never got into the final game. Dreamwich's 8-tier skin Picture Women is banned in China due to mass reports claiming that the skin is too creepy for the game. NetEase actually tried to change the skin so it can stay, but the copyright owner was not satisfied with the change, so both sides agreed to take the skin out of the game completely. In Doctor's second diary, she claims that the gardener suffers on a personality dissociation, which is seen by her talking to inanimate objects like the scarecrow in the garden. In Ripper's second birthday letter, the entire letter is written like a record-kept document, which is making it very obvious, though not confirmed, that the clerk wrote that letter. In the Chinese backstory animation, a Chinese phrase to describe her was used, which translates into eradicating all injustice. After that, a theory surfaced that the clerk changed the Manor diaries in order to eradicate what she finds injustices. What's scary about the theory is that if it would be true, we would not know what in the diaries are real and what isn't, making the diaries that don't have external proof unreliable. During the time of reunion storyline event, you can see how the Manor goes back in time to show the events that unfolded, which means that the Manor has the ability to go through time. Every hunter that arrived at the Manor is either dead or went missing. I really don't have the time to check every hunter's lore, so I hope that this statement is true. In the beta, you would have been able to access something like a laboratory under the red rug, though this was removed in the final versions, which made everyone wonder what the room stands for. It was all finally revealed in the Time of Reunion event, where you were able to access the underground laboratory for the first time. After multiple farmers, children, and even tourists went missing, an investigation was launched on the village. The people in the village worshipped the lagoon god and went as far as to bring animal and human sacrifices in order for their wishes to be granted. An investigator going by the name 𝚍𝚑𝚍 went to look for clues for the weird appearances, but later sacrificed after the people found out his true intentions. A famous novelist also wrote a horror novel titled Lakeside Trails, which was inspired by his holiday at Lakeside Village. One day, everyone in the village completely left. Abandoned boats were left back, and shortly afterward, the novelist went missing. Now Lakeside Village stands as an abandoned fishing village, with its mystery staying a mystery forever. Identity V's beta was available from 20th of May 2017 until April 2nd, 2018. Since the beta, the game has obviously changed a lot. Identity V used to look way more gruesome, making it more similar to its inspiration game 𝗑𝗏𝗏𝗏. For example, Hellhammer used to have a sickle instead of a plushy shark, and Smiley Face used to have a chainsaw instead of a rocket. Rocketeers also used to look way more gruesome than they do now. Most of these were changed because the game has to apply to Chinese law, so it has to be child-friendly. Graveyard Girl, also known as Ponytail Girl or Batgirl, is a character who was introduced in the alpha and the beta of the game. She used to be the official mascot for the game since she was heavily featured in promotional and concept material and artworks, but would ultimately be scrapped off the game and confirmed to never return. Although she wasn't in any of the official gameplay or lore, a video of her exists that not a lot of people know.